These are the plaintiffs, Christina and Jack Morose. Christina says the defendant is their neighbor, and she agreed to sell some surplus ink cartridges for them, and they were going to give her 30% of the profit. When they asked for their money minus the 30%, the woman claimed the ink cartridges were a gift to her. She refuses to give them the $4,200 she owes them, and they're here today in court suing her for it. This is the defendant, Jennifer Reisler. She says Jack gave her the cartridges, and when she asked him how much of a cut he wanted, he told her, don't worry about it. He had a very good job at the time, and figured he was just being nice and generous. Now, out of the blue, once the plaintiff saw she put the cartridges on eBay for sale, they asked her for the money? Huh? A gift is a gift. She's accused of staining a friendship. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,179.48 for all she's out.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. You folks live next door to each other, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
All right. You're living with someone's parent who's
My mother.
your mother?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
For about 1.5 years now.
Okay. Children?
Yes.
Yes.
How many?
1.
All right. You become friends with her when you move in?
Yes, we've known of her prior, a little bit here and there. And
Because
then,
they've been neighbors how long?
about 13 years. My mom
Okay.
lived there, but she moved in after, I'm not sure how many years after.
How long have you lived there?
We've lived there almost 5 years.
Okay. And who do you live there with?
I lived there with one of my sisters.
Okay. So at some point in time, according to you, $4,200 worth of ink cartridges go from there to here. And the crux of this lawsuit is, was it a gift or was it a business transaction and you're owed money for it? Where did $4,200 worth of ink cartridges come from?
So I worked for a company, and they were upgrading their printers, so they didn't need the use of those. That they told me to remove
They
them
had $5,000 worth of
Yes.
ink just sitting there that they hadn't used, and that's when
Correct.
they decide to. So they have a back storage stockpile of $5,000 of ink.
Yep. And my work order was to get rid of these ink cartridges, and I picked them up, and they approved of me to either get rid of them or dispose of them in my own use, my own way. So I held on to them and gave them to Jenny to sell on eBay since she's a top
Tell me how
seller.
that conversation. Tell me what happens in that conversation.
Okay, so Christina comes up to me and suggests that I, have Jenny sell these ink cartridges for us since she's a top seller on eBay. So I didn't have an eBay account, so I spoke with Jenny, dropped off the cartridges, and told her I'll give you a percentage if you sell the cartridges.
What was the percentage?
It was 30%, and the cartridges are worth brand new. These are not even out of the package or nothing. Worth over $180.
Who spends $100? Like, are these home? This
They're
must
not
be,
home cartridges.
Right,
They're like commercial,
Yeah, who's going to
business
buy
office, yeah.
cartridges from a private party on eBay,
Yeah.
And some of these were expired also, right?
Yeah, but
so
still,
how do you come up with this value?
Through other cartridges that are similar on eBay.
Are those expired?
Yes. And they also sell the refills as well that aren't even Canon brand for $124.
Well, that's not your item, though, is it?
That's not correct.
Right. Okay. So, according to you, the figure 30% is specifically discussed.
Yes.
Do you have any evidence that she's? Let me ask you. What's your version of this story?
We've been neighbors for 5 years, not 13. They have lived there for longer than 1.5 years. In any case, often, it's like if I am getting rid of something I don't need anymore, I'll offer it to them and vice versa. We're always giving things back and forth. So I'm on disability, and it's hard to live in the Bay Area on $1,200 a month, so I'm always looking for ways to supplement my income. So they knew about that. Now, I'd done so many favors for them, helping them out and just, taking care of things, giving them a lot of things. I mean, it was
Like
much
what?
more one way. I said, I helped them out in situations.
Like what?
Like, well, there was the time when they're staying with her mother, who really does not want them there, and has she's a very loud person for the slightest infraction. So she was out of town.
I could see from the corner of my eye that he's not. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. She has I mean, she will start, if the garbage cans aren't lined up perfectly, she'll start at 9 and
Well,
take
it's
to
her
16.
house.
Yes,
Okay.
but I mean,
Anyway.
it's just so loud. And I'm like, quiet. You can hear her through the closed windows. Anyway, so she was on her way back home from being out of town, and Jack broke her TV set. Now, they would have instantly been evicted. They were in hysterics. They were just like, oh my God, we're going to be homeless. She's going to throw us out. And I'm like, I can't live with that volume of screaming. So I'm like, where'd she get the TV? Costco. So I grabbed Jack. I raced him down to Costco. I bought a replacement TV. We swapped it out. Mom came home, none the wiser.
Oh my gosh, well, she's going to be wiser now. All right, and this was how long ago?
Probably 8 months, maybe.
Okay, and then
ago,
what was the
last year.
conversation you had with him about? Is he supposed to pay you back for that? Or?
I mean, it was just so quick. I'm like, we didn't really discuss it pre.
Okay,
I'm just
so
like,
no
I can't
discussion,
take the
and
screen.
then- so the
So we
TV's
got back.
right.
I'm sorry. So we got back, and they were both like, oh my God, thank you so much. We'll pay you back as soon as we can. We'll just, thank you. We'll do anything you want to say thanks. And I'm like, I have a palm tree that needs to be trimmed, and I have a bad back. And I asked, well, can you help me trim it? Just a few fronds a week. And he's like, sure.
Forever?
No, just a few until they were done. I mean,
Oh, okay.
So just, if you can just clip off a few a week. And he's like, sure. The very next day, his back hurt too bad to do it. And I guess has since then, even though he works on cars constantly. So, I mean, the trimming the tree was to be a thank you, and they've
Okay.
never paid me a penny back for the TV.
Right. Now, tell me about the cartridges.
Okay. So this was previous to that. Like I said, been the back and forth thing, and Jack kept mentioning these cartridges he had. And he kept delaying, bringing them and delaying. And
Yeah,
finally
but
one
what
day,
was it he was mentioning?
the cartridge. He said, "We got this big bunch of cartridges from my former job. The box was damaged, and they threw them out." I'm like, "Why would the cartridges are perfect, but the outer box was damaged?" There was also a few rolls of photo paper that were clearly damaged, but the rolls are damaged, but not the ink. And I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "Well, bring them over." So he's like, "Here you go." And I said, okay, fine. I'm like, I'll sell them. I go, what percentage do you want? He's like, oh, I don't want any percentage. This is all for you. I really stood out because I'm like, you've got a good job, but who doesn't want a cut of $4,000? And he's like, nope. This is just all
I
for
think
you.
y'all are vastly exaggerating how much money these things are worth.
Exactly. So I was really surprised about that. And he kept going on about how the gold in the cartridges was more valuable than the cartridges themselves. And so if the case is that I was supposed to sell them and give him a cut and he wanted the money, why didn't he just yank off the strips and sell them for more money? I mean, selling on eBay is a lot of work. So if he was just
Are you saying he never said, I want 30%? Wait, who was getting the 30 and who was getting the 70?
She was getting the 30%.
Oh, are you saying he never said, I want 70%?
No, he says, sell them. He goes, do whatever you want.
So what has happened? How many have you sold?
It turns out half of them have been expired, and we've had a lot of very intense family situations going on my side, and I just actually have not gotten to the point of selling them because
How many have been sold?
None have been sold.
Zero have been sold.
They are not as valuable as they say.
Where are all those cartridges now?
They're in my house.
And you wanted to submit some evidence to me to prove that was she present when he gave you the cartridges?
No, there was no one present. It was he and I. That was it.
When did that occur?
I'm not sure the exact date, but it's been at least over a year.
Is that accurate? Has it been over a year?
It's been over
Yes,
a
ma'am.
year. She's been.
Why did you decide to sue now?
Well, we gave her time. Every time we would see her, we asked about the cartridges through the year. Didn't want to put pressure on her because she always would get all agile and, sensitive about it.
Agitated, not agile.
Agitated, sorry.
That's right. Did she ever, see, I'm just kind of wondering, were you guys like friends until the day you filed the lawsuit, or did something go wrong between you guys?
No, nothing went wrong.
When did things go sour between you two?
It hasn't really. They still ask me to, hey, you want to hang out? You want to,
So were you kind of surprised that you were being sued? Or did they tell you we're going to sue you?
They mention it off and on. They've always make vague, mumbly threats.
Why didn't you just return the stupid cartridges since they're worthless?
Because they were given to me, and why should I?
Yeah, but why, if you listen to me, if they have no value, you're not able to sell them, and they have no value. I'm just curious why someone who's a next door neighbor doesn't just say, I don't want anything to do with this, and just.
They do have some value, just not as near as much as they are claiming.
I'm going to ask you another time, have you sold any of them?
No, I have not.
What is it you want to testify to about conduct between you and Jack in the ensuing months that you think proves that he gave it to you? Go ahead.
All right. Well, all I know is if somebody was suing me for $4,200, I wouldn't give them more stuff. I collect bike parts for a charity that teaches kids to fix up bikes. So 1 week ago, he comes over, I've got this frame. The frame alone is worth $1,200. And I'm like, okay, what percentage do you want if I can sell it? And he's like, no, this is all for you. Don't worry about it. So I'm of the thinking that if I thought someone owed me that much money, I wouldn't say, here's something even more valuable. It doesn't make...
So you want to address that?
I was going to build a bike for my wife because I believe in exercise and riding, and things like that. Mother-in-law didn't want the bike parts around, and she's flipping out. She's moving to Arkansas, apparently. But so she came up to me, said, hey, I got some parts. She said she's working on some art project with bicycles. I'm like, here, you can have these, because I had some.
But that is kind of strange if you feel like she's a thief. That's,
I always try to let things go in certain ways, and, addressing certain things. I just said, hey, you can have it. I obtained that, got that frame. Was generally for Christina, but I decided to give it to her.
Do you guys have any text that you want to show me that might prove whether or not this was, hey, take the cartridges, or whether it was you'll get 30%, we'll get 70%? Do you have any text back and forth, either of you?
I do, I believe. Yes, I can.
May I see it? Mm-hmm. And can you tell me what would be the reason then that they're suing you if it was a gift? What do they, if everybody's still on speaking terms and everything, what is going on?
We're still on speaking terms because it's better to keep the peace.
No, but what you guys were really, you were kind of close. So if I gave you a gift, why do I turn around and sue you a year later?
That's what I don't understand.
So one potential reason is that there's been a problem between you, but you're saying no, that didn't happen.
The problem is he used to have a good job. He does not now. They need money. So Jenny's a sucker. She'll give it back.
So on September 18th, there is a text. And she mentions something about a landlord having taken some paintbrushes and paints, and you say, well, that sucks. And she says, it does suck when people take advantage of someone's trust by doing what's right. What else that really sucks is waiting on those cartridges we gave you a year ago to sell for us on eBay for $50. Unfortunately, they are way more expired now, so we need them back because I have a buyer to send them to for less money, but we will take another loss. I will appreciate to get those by today because we asked you for weeks now. We have to ship 42 of them by tomorrow. Thank you. See you soon. And your answer is not, what are you talking about? This was a gift. Your answer is, I put them on eBay this morning. Why isn't your answer, what are you talking about? This was a gift.
Because we've been going on about this endlessly.
But what? That doesn't answer me.
No. Well,
if someone tells you, you know what else? It really sucks when you take advantage of me. I gave you these to sell on eBay, and you still haven't, so return them. Your answer is, you did not. You gave them to me because you gave them to me because they're a gift. Instead, your answer is kind of like, give me more time. I put them on eBay this morning. It's okay, she says. We just want them back. We have someone who will buy all of them. And your answer is a set of 18 just sold for almost $600 and they were expired. A set of 18 sold for almost $600 on whose site?
eBay.
On yours?
No. Wait, when you sell.
Okay, I will give it a week to see if any bites. Then she also says, yeah, looks like they're going for $89 each and those are compatible, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 7 each. I was looking into it more, noticed some are going for $32, but this will take a while to sell them. I'm just thinking to take the cut and sell them in bulk to the buyer I have. And then she calls you, and then she calls you again, and she calls you again. You say you were working in the yard. She says she's coming over. We're putting up Halloween decorations. No, this is another day. She says, hey, come over. We're
Yeah.
putting up Halloween decorations.
It's like, give me money, you thief, and let's hang. It's back and
I don't
forth.
know what you're saying. You are a thief. I
I'm
just
not.
read to you stuff that made it sound like this wasn't a gift. So that would also make you a perjurer. So I'm not
No.
sure where you're getting indignant. Stop. September 28th, if it's not too much to ask, could I stop by for the bottle of wine I forgot to ask for? What's that about?
Oh, I trimmed some of her hedges or bushes around her property on her tree that were overgrown
And
for her.
she said,
and she agreed to give me a bottle of wine.
I know you have a lot going on. I'm sure it slipped your mind. Okay, well, I could stop by to say hi, or if you want to be alone, it's understandable. Business and friendship are separate. Why did you say that?
Because I mean, I would just believe in live and let live, and you know, if I don't want any kind of issue or drama, and you know, or fighting. We're neighbors.
When did you file the lawsuit?
Last year, finally. When
It was in December.
Oh, December.
It was maybe
Okay, because in
January.
October you're like, she's giving your kid toys, and you're saying,
yeah,
come
I mean,
over.
We're
and
still. I mean, you know, I just don't believe in. You know, that's separate. If you feel that we gave you something, and you can have your day in court, and tell your
okay,
side.
now this is
but-
really interesting. It's 1:07 a.m. Okay, so it's 1 o'clock.
okay.
How's it going? What are you up to? Searching Craigslist for free stuff. Oh, I do that all the time. I was wondering if you want to chill. Okay, yeah, how early? Wondering if you could have a cocktail. I haven't seen you in a minute. She says, sure, be there in a few. Then the next morning, I think you accidentally sent her a text intended for someone else.
I did.
Yeah. Who
do
did you
that.
intend to send that to?
My sister.
And instead you sent it to Jenny saying, Jenny was so all up, you're on your nuts, LOL, hella standoffish to me, so rude. I wanted to go ransack her house for our TV and cartridges and whatever else I wanted, stupid. Okay.
Oops.
So, oops. When you wrote LOL, did you realize what you'd done and you were trying to make a joke of it? Or did you write that to your sister too?
I wrote that to my
So then
sister.
she answers, nice to know how you really feel. For the record, I wasn't being standoffish. You were arguing with each other and asking me questions at the same time. I was exhausted and trying to cook. I can only handle so much input and volume at the same time. FYI, 9 out of 10 dentists do not recommend trying to ransack the house of someone who is microns away from completely losing her blank. But you're right, I suck. Wow. What'd you do when you realized what you'd done? This was October. What'd you do?
I laughed because then now she knows how I really feel about it. Because
Did you go over and apologize or do anything? Or
No,
because I mean, you're
because-
trying to have a drink with her the night before at 1 a.m.
Because
so,
I'm a nice person. I'm not going to get like
no.
demanding
No,
or
yeah,
anything.
You're not making
and
any sense.
I don't want any kind
You're
of
not
drama.
making any sense. You accidentally sent her a text. You never
Right.
intended for her eyes. So what do? You just ignore everything? And what'd you do?
No, I just.
What? No, I don't want to hear from you. What? What'd you do?
Pretty much. I just said, oh, she probably won't speak to me again. But
So
that's
that was
okay.
it?
Maybe she gets the point across and gives
But
us
then
our cartridges
sometime in
back.
January, you say,
And
can I
TV.
come over and buy a few smokes? And she says, sure. What happened?
I bought a few smokes from her.
How many cartridges were there?
42.
So that you should have 42 in your possession, correct?
Oh, yes, I do.
As to your lawsuit against your neighbor, I am ordering you to
This is
return
this one?
the boxes of cartridges.
Okay.
Okay? That's what I
And
believe
these
that
ones.
the evidence I can see does not really support the idea that there was never supposed to be a business deal. I don't see your reaction after she says, we gave this to you a year ago, you're supposed to sell them, this is you taking advantage of us. If it was a gift, that would have been your response. It would not have been this. And so I find that this business deal has gone bad, and that the thing to do is to put you in the position that you were in beforehand. I'm not going to arbitrarily set an amount for the cartridges. I am giving you a court order to go ahead and give them the boxes of cartridges because you've sworn to me under oath that you haven't sold any of them, so 42 cartridges are going to go back. That's going to take care of the cartridges. Now let's talk about the counterclaim. We've talked about the TV on your countersuit. Interestingly, you want $219.48 for the TV, $35 for your time and mileage to get the TV, and $25 interest on the TV. What's that?
Because I put it on my credit card and they've never paid me back. And so there was interest.
Yeah, but even you admit that there was no time to discuss payment, and then you said, it's fine, just trim my tree, so...
No, I didn't say, I said, I know it's going to take you a long time
All right.
to pay me back. In the meantime,
you're suing for
trim
the tree trimming. I can only enforce a legal obligation. That's what I can enforce.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do something great for them and run out and get a TV before anybody gets in trouble because, whatever it is, that's great. Were you supposed to trim stuff?
No, that was done as a favor. I had given
Wait,
her,
did you do it? Because she says you didn't do it.
I started on getting most of them cut, but I didn't have a long enough reach to cut them.
Right, but what
palm
did
tree.
she say? Do that for me and we're even with the TV.
No, it was done as a favor.
It was done as a favor with what timing?
Within the same week.
Did she buy the TV knowing you would do it?
She
Or
got the
it came
TV
later?
as a collateral. I had another TV that I switched out for that TV as collateral, which is actually a way
Now
better
I have
television.
no idea what you're talking about.
It was a swap.
It was a swap, pretty
So,
much.
May I say
Yeah.
something? Okay, so it's from Costco. My mom had a warranty on the TV, so we could have went and did it ourselves. My mom was out of town. Okay, she had a Costco card, so she swooped in to try to rescue the day. And
Did you make a claim on the warranty?
And so she went and purchased another
Yes, I
TV
know.
and to swap out the other one.
Yes, I
That's
know.
her fault if she doesn't return the other one.
Well, that's not her warranty. She can't do it. That's
No,
your fault.
But she purchased it, so it would be under her warranty.
Oh, so she's supposed to lie?
No,
I
no,
see.
no.
I mean,
No,
that's
I've got
what
it.
she-
I've got
No,
it.
that's not what she
She's
said.
That's what
supposed
she
to
was
buy a
gonna
TV
do.
that has a warranty on
she
it,
said all wrong.
and then she's supposed to take the TV your husband broke and pretend it's the
that I
TV
broke
she
it.
just bought and claim the warranty. I know that's so normal conduct
no,
for
no.
you
Can I
that
say
you
something?
actually said that out loud in my courtroom.
Hey,
No,
can
I
I say
didn't mean it.
something? Can I
So
say
then,
something?
what warranty could she?
You're dumb, babe.
Okay, because my mom has the receipt.
How could she
So-
go? Why should she?
She
then?
went out of her own recognizance
Will
to
you
purchase.
stop that? You're using
She's
the wrong
one
words. It's
who
not
wanted
recognizant.
to-
Of
She's
wrong
the one who
volition.
said that.
Listen to me. Look at me. I
Not
need you to
me.
listen. Listen to me. Listen
Yes,
to me.
ma'am.
You just suggested that she could go because
I didn't
it's her Costco card. That's on her that she didn't do that because we swapped it out. You are literally suggesting to me that it is on her to take a broken TV she didn't buy and enforce a warranty that didn't happen because her warranty is on the new TV that's perfect. So the warranty that your mother has, your mother would have to assert. She cannot
Correct.
assert. Okay.
Correct, but that
Can I say
was
something,
what
Del?
she was going to do. I didn't tell her to do that.
Oh.
That's something she mentioned.
Hey, can I
that
say
she was
Yeah,
going
no,
to do.
it just gets better.
Can I say something?
So-
No, I don't want to hear from anybody else at all
Babe,
about
okay.
anything more. How's that?
Ridiculous. That's not.
That includes you. You need to be escorted out?
No, no.
If I just said I don't want to hear from you, what are you doing mumbling under your breath? Get out. Get him out. Just have him go.
I don't wanna say that.
That's it. Just right to the camera.
I ruled on their claim against you. On you're going to return it. I find that, it wasn't a gift. Even if there was some confusion over it, I find that legally it wasn't a gift. Now, on your counterclaim against them, when you run out and do something nice, you can't then impose a contract and say, well, Judge, they need to pay me back now because tit for tat since they're now suing me. That's not how it works. You don't get your time, you don't get mileage to get the TV, you don't get interest. I don't even know what that is. On the tree trimming, even according to your testimony, that is something that comes up afterwards as, hey, you want to be nice back? Do this. That's also not a contract. It's not like you said, all right, I'll go to Costco, I'll get you that TV if you trim my trees. Then it's a quid pro quo. That's not what's going on here. That's also, it would be nice if he did it, but that's also not enforceable. On your counterclaim against them, 0. On their claim against you, I am ordering you to return the 42 boxes of cartridges. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
But the TV.
Hold on right there, please.
So neither party wins their lawsuit here. The one thing determined is that you, the defendant, Ms. Rosler, you've got to give the cartridges back. You know, you could have saved all this court case had you done that before.
Well, the thing is they were a gift. And then they started insisting they wanted money back just to keep the piece. They said, okay, if I'll sell them, I'll give you a cut. And then suddenly they want everything. And the cartridges were not worth what they're claiming to begin with
She gets giving them back to him.
because it's not the right thing. I've given and done them
not?
so much. Why do I have to just keep giving and
Well, you
giving and
ended up
giving?
in court.
Well, you know.
What happens now? You think the friendship with them is still okay?
I really
Off and
don't know
on?
what this. It's 1 minute they're happy. Oh my God, everything's great. Next minute I'm going to ransack your house, and and then next 5 minutes later they're like,
right.
let's hang out.
Thank you, ma'am. That's the way it works. You will give the cartridges back. Miss Morose, you're on your way out of your court. Your husband obviously was ejected from the courtroom. He's outside. I don't know what he's thinking. What are you thinking about all this?
I think everything was a fair decision. All we want is our cartridges back.
Okay. Thank you very much. You get the cartridges back. Maybe that'll end this
Thank
for
you so much.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Harvey?
Well, Doug, look, bartering is really tricky because what each side wants is kind of equal value, and disputes erupt when they're not equal, or there's a perception they're not equal. So get it in writing, especially barter. Get it in writing. We have another legal question, I believe, David.
Yep. Question from the Big Apple, New York City. Here it is.
Hey, Harvey. Thanks for taking my question. We're big fans of the show here in New York City. So my question is, I bought something on eBay and I never received it, even though the seller said he sent it. Now he's blaming the coronavirus, and I'd like to sue him. Can I sue him if I'm in New York and he's in a different state? Thanks again. Be well.
So look, I'm going to be real with you for a second. This is uncharted territory with COVID. And my dogs think so too, by the way. So it is uncharted territory because it is unclear what people have to do to follow through with a contract if it's virtually impossible to do because of the virus and things being shut down. So it is uncharted territory. I cannot give you a definitive answer.